Hey guys, and welcome to Distant Worlds 2 with me, Time and Tactics. The game has been out for about 2 weeks now, and I have played it enough to know, I think I know what I'm doing, so let's go ahead and kick off a new Let's Play. With this game you can select a lot of different options when you start up a new scenario or a new playthrough. And here's my random seed, 7945303, if you want to play along. For the galaxy shape, well, there's a lot to choose from here. But I'm going to go with irregular. I think that's going to give me an interesting start. There are definitely other ones. This one is pretty interesting as well. You can also pick where you're going to start in the galaxy, but you do that on a different screen. For the number of stars, I'm going to go with 1,000 because that's the fewest stars and still get to have 10 by 10 sector, which I want. I want to be a little more spread out. For the nebulas, which is going to cause a bit of a problem if you run into them, I'm going to set those to dense. We're going to have a lot of issues there, hopefully, to get through the galaxy. And like it says here, provides more geography in the galaxy. Next up, we have the galaxy settings, and that's for not just me, but for it's more for the other empires in the universe. So here we have pre-warp galaxy expansion. So only one colony each. Tech level is going to be pre-warp. We're going to start from the beginning. Galaxy aggression. Now this one, I'm going to put that at restless. We'll see how that impacts the AI. Difficulty, hard. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Research speed, I'm not going to go with very slow. Normal is obviously normal, but I'm going to go with slow. I think that will still be okay. We'll still be able to get quite a few techs. And for the research visibility, we will only be able to see the next tech, so we won't see the whole tech tree. Research pathing, random paths through the tech tree. It sounds interesting to me, but I'm going to turn off tech trading. It can be abused, I feel. We're going to have to work for it ourselves. Next up, we have the threat screen. There are pirates in this game. I'm going to put that on few. The default is normal, with pirate strength of normal, but let's get few and very strong. So when you run into them, it's going to be an issue. Now, the proximity, I was wondering if I should leave that at average or distant, because we may not run into them very soon. It might take a while to run into these pirates. If I do average, how hard is that going to be? Nearby? I don't think I want that, but okay. Maybe we'll do average. Might be a short playthrough. Pirates respawn? Nope, stay dead. Space creatures? Let's put in many and see what that actually does. For colonization, I'm saying here that there's going to not be that many colonies that you're able to, or that many planets you can colonize comfortably. You can pretty much colonize, I mean, you can colonize a lot of planets, but you want those that are better for you, and they're going to be rare. Independent colonies, these are not empires, but they are independent. They're going to be set to normal. I think I do want some, but not too many. Colony influence range, we put that at normal, and the colonization range limit is 150 million units. Think of that as kilometers or miles. So we'll see what that actually means in the game, how far that is. The default is 200. So we're going to may not be able to be as picky for our colonies as we could be otherwise. Now, for our race, I picked the humans here. Now, there at the beginning of the game, or when the game was released, there's only 7 available. There are more races in the universe, but only 7 you can play right now. I'm sure they're going to have more later. And here's the flavor text for them. We do like continental, forest, or grassland planets. As you can see here, we get a modifier to our colony quality of 10% for those 3. So let's keep an eye out for them. Now, going down here, we can see we have other bonuses. Research is a good thing for us. Diplomacy, war awareness reduction, espionage, and trade income. Hopefully that will work out. For all our relationship with other races, we have these numbers here, which I think may not matter so much. That's how we feel. Well, we decide ourselves. But for the other races, we can see how they feel about us. Here, as you can see, humans, -40. You know, there's not that many that like us, I think. -20 there. So anyway, We'll see how that actually plays out in the game. Our preferred governments are democracy and republic, but we can have a lot of different governments there. And we have pretty much regular infantry, troop units, or troops that we can use. Alright, moving on to the empire and government. If you leave it blank, you get a default name, which I'm going to do. I'm going to leave that, I think. What about the empire flag? Do we need something different? I mean, I do like the blue, but what would we pick? I am partial to blue there. We'll leave it a blue. Let's do that. And here's the government, republic. And as you can see, we get different modifiers here. Population growth plus 5%. And we get other modifiers as well. Research 5% there. So that's pretty good, those two together. And also colony corruption reduction is 20%, which that sounds good to me, right? That means we're going to get make more money. Right, tourism income plus 10, so having resort bases would be good. Trade income 15%. It would be good to trade with other factions as well. And here, next up, we have our starting situation. Our home system, how good is it going to be? Well, I'm going to leave it at normal. I don't know if I can handle trying. It may be a very short game there, so we'll leave it at normal. Expansion, we're going to be sitting on starting a single small colony. No ships or bases. Yeah, that's good. Tech level, pre-warp. Starting location, and here's what we can pick, depending on your map. Depending on, the very first screen, what you pick there. We can do random or center or edge. You may still not get what you want, but let's do center. That way we're going to have places around us. We can't really count on hiding around the edge. Let's go for center here. Moving on to the other empires. Here's where you can designate your own empires. That should be in the game, but I'm going to put them on auto-generating only, and we're going to have 20 of them there. So that's going to be pretty good. Victory conditions. Yeah, these, we can look at that in the game a little bit more because it's a little bit confusing here, I feel like. But basically, you need to achieve a combination of these four at a level of 70%. I think that's pretty good. If you move this down, I think it's going to be a shorter game. Move it up, a longer game. You can turn them all off. Sandbox game. Start date years, which I believe relates to the how many years you're going to be safe. I mean, we're not going to, if I put that at 100 years, then the game's not going to evaluate the victory before that time is up. We'll put it on off though. Time limit, I don't like that, where you have a limit to how long you can play. And we'll keep the events on. I've played humans a little bit, so I do know the first couple of things that happen, but that's it. Okay, that's it. Quite a few screens, right? But let's go ahead and start the game. And here you get a pretty good feel for how long it takes. It's a pretty good map size here. And by the way, I'm playing version 1.0.2.2 right now. They are updating the game quite a bit because there have been some stability issues for some people. And I think they're working hard on that to get that done. Okay, so here we are. We are the Escalon Junction Alliance. Not the easiest to say. Escalon Junction Alliance. We can always rename things in the game, things that we control. But we're humans. The Escalon Junction Alliance. Our government is Republic. We're humans, typically aggressive and careful. Aggressive and careful. Okay. We have natural skills in all research areas and in diplomacy, and we have a war awareness reduction. We have a benefit or natural skill in espionage and trade income as well. Our leader is Thon Walken. He's skilled in weapons research, good to know, diplomacy and trade income. Our home colony is Duild, a continental planet in the Escalon Junction system. Nearby is the gas giant Escalon Junction 4. Also nearby is the rocky metallic moon Dorsihona. Okay, let's get started. And this game has, well, you call it infinite scrolling, but infinite zooming. We can zoom right out. You can see in the background here we have the galaxy. We're going to zoom right into the planet here. Or to the moon, as the case may be. There it is. And here we are. To the stars. So here we are. We have a lot of flavor text here. But basically we have found technology that has advanced our understanding of early warp field experiments. Sounds interesting. And we have found technology that's advanced our understanding of research labs as well. And we have ruins that give us a colony bonus of 6% colony development and 8% scenery. That's good. We're going to say dismiss, and then I'm going to wait a little bit until numbers here stabilize. I've noticed it needs a few seconds. In the meantime, we do have one ship. I know it said we didn't have any ships, but we did actually construct one explorer here. And we'll see if that, now it's stabilized, I think. And it is the year 2754, January 14th. Okay, now this game is played at not slow, but it's fairly leisurely pace. It's not a game you rush through. You don't really have to put it on pause that much, so you can play through it. But at the beginning, let's just get a good feel for where we are. So we're on the moon. This here is Duild, Continental moon. When I look at that pop up there in the middle, I get right away a little bit of information. It's not very much explore. Well, let's go from left to right. The star means it's our capital. The name is Duild, and there is a little symbol next to the name, and I think that means we have a special location here, the ruins on Duild. The exploration level is 2. Over time, we'll explore more. It's a continental moon. The size is 5K, not the population. That's the physical size dimensions. 82% quality here. And so rated 4 stars. Really good to colonize, which we did. There are 2 billion people, humans. You can see the icon there. They're pretty happy, the smiling yellow face. The development is at 55%, which will affect how much we'll get out of it. And at the bottom, we can see what kind of resources we have. The very last bottom right here with the 5 blue dots and 600, I do not know exactly what that refers to. I was looking it up, but I couldn't figure it out. But this game has a lot of little ins and outs about it. Anyway, that's the moon. We have a couple of things outside here. These are ships being built now or scheduled to be built. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit and see what we have. So that's the moon. Moon of what? Well, of this gas giant over here. You can just drag the map here. Escalon Junction 4, unexplored, huge, 12K. And there's another moon here, a rocky metallic moon, Dorsiona. We should probably take a look at them, right? Because when the game starts, we don't have warp drives, hyperdrives, so it's going to be slow going to get even across here. I have to make sure we get that right away. We get a snapshot here where we can see we have that is the planet, and we have our moon, and that's the other moon, and we have 3 ships here. That's it. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom out a bit more and see what we can see. So here's the whole system. Escalon Junction, right? And by these little white symbols here, you can see nothing has been explored, but there are quite a few. Now you can see that down here it's changed. We can get an idea right away. I'm glad to see we have a gas giant, because that means we have a good shot at finding Caslon, which is the fuel in the game for starships. There's a frozen gas giant over here, but I don't think you can get Caslon from that. We can look at it in Galactopedia later. Our planet is here, our moon is here. There are some other ones here. An ice planet doesn't sound very hospitable. Here's a deep ocean. Well, deep ocean doesn't really work for us, right? What was it we had? Forested? Well, we can look that up a little bit later, where we get that modifier plus 10. Yeah, and they have various other planets around here. We'll get into that later. There's an unknown ship there. An unknown ship there. No, I'm curious, actually. Can I actually see? Oh, there's something there. Those pirates. I mean, it could be. I don't know. And then the one down here. There's an asteroid field here. We don't know what's there. There is something now. Okay. Now let's keep that in mind. Okay, anyway. That is Escalon Junction here. Unexplored. Red giant star. Now, if we zoom out even more, you can just keep zooming. We get another little badge. And you can see what's here. And we are, where are we on the map? We are pretty close to the center, I think, on the map, yeah. So we have to shoot for one of these here, I would think. Hopefully that's within range, otherwise it's a big problem. Yeah, okay, we'll see what happens. These look like they're a little bit too far away. It will take a while. There's actually no way right now to determine distance directly, like you can't drag a ruler to say, at least I don't think so. But I think hopefully that is within our 150 million miles or kilometers. Anyway, let's go back home. We can just zoom in, just point to the planet. There's our moon. And I'm going to select it. And then I'm going to press Control 1. And now whenever I press 1, zoom in there, and then one more time. There, now we have it. Okay, let's look at this planet now. So we have all the information down here. We can look at that later, but we do know that we have 3 different resources here. The Megalus Nut Abundance 31, which means how easy it is to excavate, which by the way cannot go down over time. Carbonite and also polymer. So 61 on those 2. And if we want to get a little bit more information about our planet, there is a way to do that. If we select our colonies here and then go down, select colonies here, go to our planet. Actually, we don't have to click, we can just see right here. There's actually one more resource here. Duraxian Nectar. We can't see it yet. Remember our research or exploration level? It's on level 2. We could maybe do something about that later. People are fairly happy though. And right now, what are we making right now here from this planet? We were making money, net tax revenue of about 3,000. Now, why is that? Well, we get a lot of revenue, but we have some corruption as well. And we have our gross here is 3.95 is what we take in. We pay support of 1,000. The way it works in the game is that there's a civilian economy. If we go into our our view of our empire, we can see here on this bottom left, well not bottom left, but top left economy tab, what we make. This is what we control here. Below, we have the private economy. The private economy is what generates all the money. We just siphon a few off using taxes and special income from the private economy when we are, for instance, letting them build a ship in our shipyard. Anyway, so right now 2951 is we're gaining. Let's see how we're actually allocating that right now. Well, we are putting that on maintenance, and anything left over, we allocate that to colony growth and research. Okay, that seems pretty reasonable to me. Right now, though, we don't have much research. It's only what we have natively on the planet, so we'll see what we do about that. There is a lot of automation in the game, though. If you go over to policy settings here, we can automate a whole ton of things if we want to. I haven't actually automated too many things here. We can look at that later when we come to it. But what I want to do first is let's check out what we have to work with right now. We know we have the planet, which is good. And do we have any ships? Well, we know we have one ship. We saw it being built. It's going to be under exploration. It was an exploration ship. So it's right here. The Forbidden Imposter. Right now it's fully automated, which is not bad for a explorer. You can set it to manual if you want to by going down here. And then I can select myself what it should do. But imagine you got a big... There's going to be a lot of ships going on, moving around here, right? So eventually you wouldn't want to do that. Right now, I could say manual. Let's go explore Escalon Junction 4 and make sure, what's on there. See if we can find some Castellon, for instance. But let's just leave it for automation for now. To find out what we're doing as far as our construction, we can go over to this tab here. Make sure this is selected on the left, construction yards. As you can see, we have one here on Duild. It is right now building, first in line here, it's a Ancient Sojourn construction ship. We probably do need that. And then Devious Prophet, a mining ship. Mining ships, as well as freighters, are not controlled by us. Controlled by the AI as part of the civilian economy. They will create their own ships, well, using our shipyard, but they will schedule them and pay us a fee to do that. And then they will ship things back and forth that we need in our empire. So it's pretty good to have a few of them around. We need to get something for them to actually excavate, though. Like maybe we can have that mining ship. If we explore this gas giant, I bet you anything, it will travel over there if we find something good. So let them do that. But what I want to get out right away is to build a spaceport. We can do that down here. Here, SSP2. By the way, yeah, let's go ahead and schedule that. It gets put right out here. You don't control the location, I believe, of that spaceport when you build it from a planet. If you have a construction ship building something, you can define exactly where you want to build it. Anyway, it's there now. It is under construction 0, but it's not first in line because we're already working on this one here. I have it set up right now so that our state ships, which means anything that is not a freighter or a small or a mining ship, is going to go ahead in the queue. So we bumped this guy down here, the devious profit, which I think is fine. Okay, so we're going to get the construction ship. We're going to get that small spaceport as well. Okay, we have this here. We can dismiss that. We got our leader. Let's look at him actually. How's he doing? That's over here. Select the left characters here. Then Walken, ruling from Duild. What is he all about? He's tolerant. So he gains 5% diplomacy and 5% trade income. Okay. So yeah, that looks good to me. They can gain skills here, as you can see. As they keep on working, they will gain skill and get better and better. So we want him to keep doing what he's doing. He's doing fine so far. I have to remember that weapons research. Okay, so we know that now. He's here. We know we have one colony. We have one exploration ship here. Well, what else do we have on the planet? Let's go back to Duild. We can see we have here the ancient human city ruins. 6% colony development and 8% scenery. The scenery, we need a resort base so that people can travel to it and actually take advantage of it. And that will then give us more tourism income. We don't have that yet. We don't have that researched even. But the development shows up here. The development there, 54%. 39 from population, because this planet is pretty high quality. And we get 6% from other items and 9% from resources. And we can see here, this one gives us 6%, and that's that 6 you see in here. Resources, well, there's a lot of resources. I talked about Caslon, that's fuel. There's a ton more. Anything you build in the game is going to need certain resources. And that goes for components on ships as well. So we can maybe take a look at one of those. Let's look at our Explorer right now. We go to our Construction tab and click on Ship Design. Here are the designs we know of right now. We can create more, obviously, but let's find our exploration ship here. The EX-1 Pathfinder model. The ship is not called that, but that's the model. And we get a little bit of stats here, what it costs, how maintenance and so forth. But let's jump in and take a look at it here. We can't change it because we already have a ship of this type, but we can upgrade it if you wanted to. The way it works on this screen is a lot of stats here, but on the right, it shows you the capacity or capabilities of this ship. So right here, for instance, what is the typical speed when it's traveling? If it goes through hyperspace, probably not, but what would it do there? What kind of weapons we have, how much energy it uses, and kind of an overview of how good it is. And then at the very bottom here, we can see how much does it cost to build it. How did these numbers come about? Well, each and everything on the ship is going to have a cost. And the things on the ship are these. So for this particular model, you have all these slots, and it's been filled up when the game started. It's been automatically designed for us to have, for instance, a basic command center. The command center needs a certain number of crew members, 5 in this case, takes up an amount of space, 8 in this case. In this particular slot it's in, it's space 50, so it fits there fine. It uses energy. It takes steel, polymer, and silicon, and then you can see what it provides for the ship. And that goes for everything here, every module here. We'll look at that probably more as we design them, but you can see we have some engines here. There's a couple of missiles there, no armor, and no shields, an array, proximity sensor array, and a survey module. Makes sense for an exploration ship. These are all the things that we can pick from. And so if you wanted to, you can look and see, like compare these two weapons, for instance. It's a lot of data here. Anyway, that's how that works. And I'm happy to have it right now. What I do want to do, though, I want to double check here. You can set it to automatic or to manual. For the design, I think I want to set it to manual. You can do that for everything. That means we're not going to get an automatic new design when we research something. And if we go down to the right here or go over to the right, we can see retrofitting. That is when we do get a new thing. If you have a ship of an old style, when we get a new design, is it going to go back home and just upgrade? Maybe not, but maybe for the freighters, leave it like that. Construction ships, should they always go back? Yeah, probably that too. The escort, my military ships, no, I may not want to do that. I'm going to keep that manual. Exploration ships, they can also be automatic for that upgrade, and I think maybe everything can be upgraded except my military ships. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. That gives us a pretty good idea of where we're at, I think. So what we're doing right now, we're waiting for our ships to come out, but we want to make sure that our exploration ship actually will do something. I'm going to leave it on automatic, and we'll see what happens. We're paused right now, normal speed, we're making money. Let's see what happens. Well, let's not do that just yet. We have no research project here queued up. If we go down here, as part of our flavor text, we did find out that there was some form of hyper or a warp field that we knew about. Anyway, we had 50% research on it already done. So let's go ahead and select that for the first thing to research. As we said when the game started, we don't want to know what everything is, on this side of things, going down the path here, but we know a few things at the beginning. And we have a few things already done. This one here is completed. This one is completed. That's why we can build the ships that we have. So let's go ahead and pick this one. We have picked it. It's first in queue. What do we want second? We can queue it up right now. Maybe we'll do, if nothing changes, we could do like shields, or we can do armor plating to get armor, which would give us components that we can build, but maybe not yet. We'll wait and see what happens. Okay, so now we have that warp field experiments, 4.42 years. That's quite a bit. We may want to crash that project. We have 14,000 right now. Anyway, let's see what happens to that exploration ship. So it's 16th now, and we can look and find Forbidden Imposter. It's here. It's not doing anything, and that's a little bit what happens in the game. Build another one. It takes a while to get orders. Okay, now it's taking off. It's going to go and do what? Survey Escalon Junction 4. Now, if we want to find out about that, we can go down to here, and there it is. Yep, that's the big planet. That's what we want to do. If you want to check out and see what this actual ship, what it has on board, we can click on it and see, yep, everything's in good shape. Status normal. Good. As they take damage, you're going to see that here. All right, so now we're traveling. Now look at this. This is normal speed. It's moving. I can zoom in a little bit. You can see that better. It is going, but you see how slow that is? Yeah, that's very slow. So you want to get this warp field experiments done sooner rather than later. How much does it cost to crash that, to speed it up? It would cost us, if you read that little box there, 3,667 credits. I think it's worth doing that. It basically doubles the speed. We'll pay that cost. We don't want to be slow out of the gate here. So we'll be a little bit faster now. So it's going to take a while. In the meantime, remember I said yes to that exploration ship. So this one, the constructor is still being constructed, 20%. Spaceport waiting in queue. And then after that, exploration ship. And now we have more. We have 2 small freighters coming in. I didn't select those. The private industry, I'd see it's moving there, is working on that. Now, where is my constructor? Is that we can actually select that from our constructors here. This one, under construction. There it is. And you can see it's slowly being constructed here. If you look carefully, these little odd-looking things, is like a mesh network there. Oh, that's a spaceport. Never mind. That's a spaceport. I need to go here. There it is. It's slowly filling in here. And you can see these little drones coming to build it basically here. So we're at 32% now. Yep, you can see it built in there a little bit. So it takes a while here right now. We only have 1 construction yard. We can get more, and I'm hoping we can do, we can get that spaceport online pretty soon. Not only does it have a construction yard, an extra one, but we also have quite a few weapons here. So it's going to be good to have a little bit of defense, right? Okay, but anyway, that will have to do it for this time. I'll come back. This was just a quick introduction. We'll jump into the game for real next time. Bye guys.